Welcome to Book Your Success, the online show for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs, about entrepreneurs. This show spotlights authors who have books which provide information, innovation, and inspiration needed by successful entrepreneurs and business professionals. It includes a special focus on how authors use their book to market and build their brand. Let's join host and entrepreneur Anita Paul with today's guest.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Book Your Success. We are so happy to have you back with us again, and I am Pamela Adams. I am the executive producer of Book Your Success. We have out today our usual host, Miss Anita Paul, so shout out to Anita. She's just out there busy working, so I stepped in her stead today. So I'm always happy to come from behind the camera sometimes and to interview our guests. And today I'm very excited to interview our guest, Miss Stacey Covington-Lee, who wrote the book, The Bitter Taste of Love. So we're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, I want to thank today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is the Greater Atlanta chapter of the Federally Employed Women. And they are having a fantastic event that's coming up starting tomorrow. It's February 19th through the 21st. The 2014 Federally Employed Women Southeast Regional Training Program. But the great news is that it's not just for federally employed women. Many of you can come out. Men are welcome as well. We're having some great topics. And yours truly has the wonderful honor of being the closing session speaker on Friday. So we'd love for you to come out. There's also a great luncheon that's going to occur on Thursday. So please don't miss it. Look out on the website, and also on the screen you will be able to get the contact information throughout the show. So thank you so much to the Great Atlanta chapter of the Federally Employed Women. Now, on to the purpose of our show today. As I mentioned, Stacey Covington-Lee. She's a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She has written multiple manuals and training guides for various companies and local government. However, it was her love of literature that led her to pen several short stories and 3 fictional novels. Her first published and well-received novel, The Knife in My Back, was released by Delphine Publications in November of 2012. Her sophomore novel, The Knife in My Back 2, was released in July of 2013. She has been busy, and she has just released her latest novel, her third novel, Bitter Taste of Love, and that was released on September 10th of 2013. Yes. That is just fantastic. That's phenomenal to have 3 novels done in such a short period of time. But first, let's start with the current novel, Bitter Taste of Love.
That from the outside it looks very beautiful. They have the perfect family, husband and wife and 2 children, and he's very successful, a successful attorney. She has a wonderful career, and it looks beautiful. But when you go behind the scenes and you're in their home, you come to realize that it's a very torn marriage. It is a marriage that is abusive. Andrew is a very abusive, controlling man, and he has no time, no love, just nothing for his family. And
so a lot of people, I'm sure, will find a bit of themselves, if not exactly themselves, but even a bit of themselves in the characters throughout the book.
Yeah, and that's something that I always try to do. They're fictional novels, but fictional story I think that people, they receive it better when they can find threads of themselves woven into the story.
Okay. And then we know you have the 2 other books, Knife in My Back and Knife in My Back 2.
Yes.
But let's go back to the beginning. What inspired you to become an author, and especially this type of author? Because from what I've read, you've now become known as the author of Friendship and Betrayal.
Yes.
So what inspired you to get into writing novels?
Well, I actually started when I was 12 years old. I always loved reading. And I always credit the novel Are You There, God, is me, Margaret.
I remember that one.
So I read many of Judy Blume's books. But when I read that one, something was like, I could do that. I want to be a novelist. And so I started writing then. But with the first novel, The Knife in My Back, a girlfriend and I were sitting down and talking about our different talents. And she's always known that writing is something that I loved and that I wanted to do. And we had read a book written by 2 friends. And I think that was just her little way of giving me a shove. She said, we can do that. Let's write a book together. And we started, and by page 3, I had completely taken over. Wow. And she was like, every idea she had, I was like, yes,
that's not gonna work.
But let's change it to this. And she was like, okay, you're on a roll. You handle that. And that was the start of The Knife in My Bag.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is awesome, I tell you. And now, what's kind of your experience in talking with other authors and being a novelist versus someone that writes other types of books like self-help books or any type of educational books? What's your experience? What do you think the differences are?
The differences are, when you're talking about novels, it's a matter of just creativity. A lot of the fictional authors like myself, this is an opportunity for me to step outside of myself. And to just tell a story. We have such wild imaginations, and this is an opportunity to step outside, and you'd be surprised at things that inspire you. A fictional novelist to write a book. It can be anything. It's just what you see happening in day-to-day life, and your imagination runs with you. And I think, with the others, it's all built in fact. This is business. These are the statistics, and, it's very black and white. But, fictional writing is very varied and colored.
So you get to be really creative and
Absolutely.
Go out as far out on the limb as you'd like to go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now, so tell me a little bit about the writing process as a novelist.
Well, for me, with a title, I can have an idea, or I can hear something, and it just the title will be so profound, it'll strike something in me, and I'm like, that could be a great book. And I know it seems so backwards for some people, but for me, that's just usually how it begins. And from there, I don't do the whole. With the first novel, I did the whole outline, multiple pages and of outline and everything. Now I sit down, I figure out who are my characters, what are their characteristics, what's the main plot of the story, and I sit down and I start writing. And then if you just kind of give yourself to the story or give yourself to the process, the story writes itself almost.
So you've learned a lot over these few short years of kind of how to even improve what you're doing and improving your process from the first book to now your third book. So now let's not forget, let's tell us a little bit about the first 2 books, because I know I've often found with novels, you find a particular writer whose style you enjoy, so that I always end up migrating back to their next book and their next book.
Right.
So let everyone know a little bit about the first 2 books so that they can go ahead and just get out there and pick up all 3.
Okay. Well, the first book, The Knife in My Bag, it follows the story of 2 girlfriends. There is Brooke Mansfield and Tamika Williams. Brooke Mansfield is from a very affluent family. She grew up in a very privileged life. Tamika Williams is that girl that's from the wrong side of the street, so to speak. Very intelligent woman, but she doesn't want to have to work for anything. She wants it to be given to her. And so she would rather go out and take from others, use from others. And that's what she does with her friend Brooke. Although, like I say, Tamika's very intelligent, she has a good career, Brooke has all the money. And Tamika's philosophy is, why spend my money when I can take hers?
Okay.
And she tries to take everything that Brooke has, but when she takes that one thing that meant the most to Brooke, and it's not a man.
Okay.
I always have to tell that, because people automatically
the one
go
thing
to,
that means the
it's
most,
a man.
right?
And I'm like, women have so many other issues in life
That's
aside
right.
from a man. But when she takes that one thing, and it's not the man from Brooke seeks her revenge.
Okay, that sounds exciting. And then the
Yes.
second one, is it a continuation?
It is a continuation.
Okay.
Knife in My Back 2 picks up with Tamika trying to pick up the pieces of her life, because the revenge was devastating.
Okay.
And she's trying to pick up the pieces. And now she's faced with the question, do I try and go after Brooke again, or do I take this opportunity to redeem myself, to become a better person? And so it just kind of shows that struggle. And also it brings one of the other characters from the first book, Mia. She's now highlighted in this story. And I like the highlighting of Mia, because it brings in that marital dynamic and all the issues that we can have with marriage, but also it focuses on the sickle cell issue, because again, I do like to incorporate real life into the books. I like there to be a point to it all, a message.
Okay. So now that you're on a roll with the 3 books in your pocket already, do you expect to continue on and use the similar theme of the friendship in Betrayal?
To an extent, yes. It's all about building a brand.
Right.
But that's kind of where it's gone.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's so much a part of folks' lives now.
Right.
You know, you can look at reality television and see it all over the place.
So it won't be hard to find content.
It won't be hard to find content at all.
Okay.
So yes, the work focuses on, like I say, real life issues like, sickle cell and bringing, shining a light on that, something that doesn't get the attention that it should, but also marriage, what we're facing with marriage. And even in Bitter Taste of Love, there's also a friendship and betrayal element in there as well. So yes, that'll continue to kind of play a part.
Good. Well, as we go on, we definitely are going to talk more about your experience as an author, but also tell everyone right now how they can find your books and how they can get in touch with you as well.
Okay. Please get in contact with me. I love hearing from everyone. You can visit my website at www.stacycovingtonlee.com. You can also follow me on Facebook at Stacey Covington-Lee, and also Twitter at Stacey Covington-Lee, and I'm also on Instagram at Stacey Covington-Lee.
And that's what you're supposed to do. And something that you said earlier as well is about building the brand, and then kind of how you have that underlying theme for all your books. So let's talk about that from the business side of things, and from the business side of being an author, even as a novelist, that business side and the building that brand. And I'm even hearing it in your social networks, of course, that you have that consistent brand that you're building.
Yes, it's so important because with writing, as is with any other entertainment industry, you can put your name out there, but if people don't hear it on a consistent basis, if they can't link a theme to you, you're so quickly forgotten, and so it is so important to build that brand, to let people know what you're about, and to provide entertainment that's going to captivate people. You want to hold their attention, and for me, the main thing is to entertain, and I have to find a way to do that that's going to hold my main audience's attention. It's going to want to, it pulls them in, and they're going to want to come back again and again for what I write, and the whole friendship and betrayal theme has done that so far.
Now, how do you feel as far as you mentioned reality shows, for example, what type of obligation do you feel regarding tackling social issues?
Well, quite honestly, I don't feel a responsibility to do it, but I find that it's just, my writing is it's a great vehicle for shining a light on things that social issues that do matter to people.
Okay.
And for me, sickle cell is very near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
And so many times it just doesn't get the attention that it deserves or the funding that it deserves. So that's why I write about it. And it's a small theme, a little thread that's kind of woven throughout my books.
Okay.
As far as the reality television aspect, I feel they are doing enough on their own.
Okay. No help.
Help. It's easy to look at that and kind of pick out pieces and go, oh, yeah, we can, build a whole series of novels based on some of the things that occur there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's an obligation, but I think like a lot of other authors do it as well. They take that opportunity, they use their voice to shine a light on issues that do matter.
Fantastic. Everyone, I am Pamela Adams Alexander, coming to you live with Book Your Success, and we are talking with our today's guest, Miss Stacey Covington-Lee, the author of The Bitter Taste of Love, and we're going to be right back after these commercial breaks.
Rachel quit the corporate grind to start her own interior design business. She's got a growing list of clients she keeps in touch with using email marketing from ConstantContact.com. Constant Contact is easy and affordable and lets her send out updates and photos that showcase her expertise and inspire her customers for only $15 a month. Her dream? To be the area's hottest interior design office. Right now, she just dreams of an office.
What happens when soldiers come home? Brene Foundation offers hero support to ensure that our heroes abroad can continue to be heroes at home. We link veterans with organizations who are dedicated to guiding the transition from military hero to civilian hero. If you want to find out how you can support our troops at home, please contact the Brene Foundation or visit Brene.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Pamela Adams, your favorite Chief Connection Officer, coming to you live from the BizLink Center. I'm actually coming to you live from the set of my newest show called That's My Biz. It's a business internet showcase where I interview companies and nonprofits about their products and services or their special cause. It's a great way to get the word out. Instead of doing that direct sales push, you're actually able to show that you've been interviewed. We have a special introductory offer going on for $99 where we give you the embed code to your video. What that means is you can put your interview directly on your own website. We also give you the link to your video so that you're able to promote it on your social networks so that you can drive that traffic to your website. Third, if you have a YouTube channel, we give you the video file so that you're able to upload the video directly to your own YouTube channel. It's a great way, again, for you to promote your business or your nonprofit. So if you're interested in our introductory offer, please contact us at that'smybiz@bizlinks.tv. Check us out, bizlinks.tv. Until next time, let's connect. Welcome back, everyone. I am Pamela Adams Alexander, and we're here with Book Your Success, and we are talking with a fantastic novelist, Miss Stacey Covington-Lee, in her most current book, The Bitter Taste of Love. So we definitely want you to check her out. This is her third book in the series. So tell me a little bit about what authors inspire you.
I am such a fan of Alice Walker.
Okay.
And I absolutely love... there's Alice Walker. There's a duo of ladies, the two friends that I spoke of earlier.
Okay.
Grant and now their names escape me.
Okay.
But Grant and I can't remember the other lady's name right now. But I love their work.
Okay.
I love the work of Kimberly Lawson Roby.
Okay.
And I love the work of a lot of the new authors that are on the scene.
Okay.
There are a lot of authors like LaShonta Charles, writes beautifully.
Okay.
So does Shawanda Pugh, and there's a new guy on the scene. You know, if women are looking for, that next hot novel. There's an author, Johnny J.
Okay.
And they are just they're fresh, they're new,
Okay.
and their work is new. It's not the same thing, you know, kind of recycled what you've read before.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
really great material.
That's good. So everyone, those that are out there looking for some great novels, you just heard some good examples. But first, make sure you check out Stacey's 3 books, and then follow along. So now, who is your target audience for your books?
My target audience, the funny thing is, I always say my audience is anyone between 18
Okay.
and 65 that can
Okay.
read.
Okay.
Only because I found I narrowed my audience when I first started.
Okay.
And I said my target audience, women
Okay.
between the ages of 18 and 50.
Okay.
And I went and I did my first book signing, and there was a 75-year-old Caucasian gentleman was my first customer
Wow.
of the day. I was shocked. And from
Interesting.
then on, I would do signings with other authors, and I just kind of noticed how they would kind of, you know, go after as
Okay.
you know, as potential customers came by the bookstore, they would kind of go after that, you know, African American
Okay.
female between 18 and 50.
Okay.
And he taught me the lesson. I just started talking to everyone.
That's right.
And I have built a very diverse following, and I'm so appreciative of that, you know, everyone of every age and ethnicity has given my work a chance.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So now, do you find in learning that the target audience may be a little bit broader, has anything changed in how you write based on that?
It has. My first 2 novels, The Knife in My Bag and Knife in My Bag 2, the characters were all African American. The third novel, I want to incorporate everyone because my audience has grown,
Okay.
and I want to show that diversity
Okay.
in my writing. And I want everyone that reads my work, I want them to be able to find someone or something that they can relate to as well. And so with the third novel, Bitter Taste of Love, we have mostly African American characters, but then we also have Caucasian characters.
Okay.
With the book that that's going to be released a few months later on this year, we have diversified even more.
Okay.
You know, with the second book, we have gay characters.
Okay.
And that's also going to be in the upcoming novel.
Okay.
It's just kind of branching out to incorporate everyone.
Okay, having the books look more like those who are reading your books in that target audience.
Exactly. I want everyone to feel welcome.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Good. Now, you went with Delphine Publications.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the experience as a novelist in determining the publisher for your book, and let's talk a little bit about the final process actually getting your book out there.
Okay. Decided to go with Delphine. I signed with another publisher. I tried the self-publishing route with the very first novel.
Okay.
And that's just an experience in and of itself. And went with another publisher initially.
Okay.
But what I found with Delphine is that Delphine, the CEO, Tamika Newhouse,
Okay.
unlike many publishers, she works with the authors so closely.
Okay.
She genuinely wants the author's input.
Okay.
She does not try to change your voice. She does not try to change. She lets you speak. She
Okay.
lets you tell your story.
Okay.
And that's what I love most. I also love that, you know, it's not the publisher's responsibility to promote authors.
Right.
That's just that they are
Right.
publishers. They're not promoters. They're not, you know, your personal
Right. Marketing. Right.
exactly. But Tamika goes above and beyond,
Okay.
and she wants to see everyone under that Delphine umbrella succeed.
Okay.
And so she does the promotions. She's
Okay.
promoting everyone, and the family of authors under Delphine, everyone is so open and willing to cross promoting.
Okay.
So when one of us has a novel coming out, everyone
Okay.
is promoting that
Okay.
next book.
Okay.
Everyone is getting the word out to their networks. And so that just makes for, of course, a more successful author.
Right.
It makes for a more successful publishing company.
Right. Absolutely, because so often that you hear with publishing, one, just a challenge of going with an official publishing company.
Yes.
But one of the biggest things you hear, negatives you hear about that, is that how they really change your book, and when that book is your baby, you don't really want people kind of changing too much of it, the overall concept or the title of it and things like that. So to hear you talk about Delphine Publications and the family feel that you get, that's so important. And then just crossing with other authors, sometimes authors feel they compete with each other.
Exactly, they really do, and fortunately I don't feel that with Delphine.
That's great.
I heard Bernie Mac say many years ago that there's room at the cross for everyone.
That's right.
And there is, because my audience, everyone that reads my book, they may not like sci-fi, and everyone that likes sci-fi, they're not interested in what I write. So you have to be willing to work with one another and do that cross-promoting, because everyone can succeed.
Right, absolutely. So if you had to give some advice to some budding novelists, what's some advice you would share with them?
Edit.
Okay.
Edit and edit. Because when you present your work, you want it to be your best. You only get that, like they say, you only get one chance to make a first impression, and you don't want to go to a publisher with something that is not properly edited. You don't want grammatical errors. You don't want just misspelled words. It looks very unprofessional, and you won't be taken seriously. You just won't be taken seriously.
So you handled the editing of your book prior to going with the publisher?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And, it was a process. Like I say, when I did the self-publishing the very first time The Knife in My Back came out, I can sit here now and honestly say, it was a mess. And I so appreciate the friends that supported me in spite of it being a mess, because they knew it was my first step. And so I appreciate that. But that process taught me a lot. And so now going back and make sure it's make sure it's edited properly, and then just as a safety net, Delphine still has a staff of editors that still go back and go through and just double check and make sure that everything is done properly.
Okay, that's great. Now, what was your experience on the editing side? Because one thing that I learned a little while ago in working with books and writing books and working with authors, that a lot of people think that editing is just about the grammatical side of it. What was your experience? Also, the things you don't think about was you may write something and think one thought is getting across, and then the editor may read it and get a whole nother concept across. So what was your experience with working with an editor from that perspective?
Well, initially, because like you said earlier, it is your baby, and so you're so you're so ready to defend it against everything. But working with the editor, you go back and you see what they're talking about, and you may have written something one way and it comes across totally different to the reader, because you're conveying a message, but they're, everyone's they're not in your head. They, they don't always get it, don't always translate.
Yes.
And so just being open, I find if you're just open and willing to listen, and really just take note, if you open yourself up to the editor, hear what they have to say, recognize that that's their job. Your job is to write a great story, but the editing, that is their job, is what they do best. And you learn more as you go along, and each time you write a book, it requires maybe a little less editing, a little less change, because you're learning as you go. It's all a learning process.
Fantastic. So now let's talk a little bit about the marketing side, because I know you mentioned it's not the publisher's responsibility, and so many people get confused about that. And they think, they get this deal and that the company's going to do all of the work and get the book out there. All they have to do is sit back and kind of watch the payments come in. So what's your experience? Or first of all, more so tell us, how do you market your book, and how do you take on that responsibility yourself?
Well, for me right now, social media is huge. I have never, I've never been like this huge social media person. Now, it's like the running joke. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Every day there's something out there. It's keeping your name out there. It's keeping your work out there. It's giving people bits and pieces. So, and a great tool for that is the social media. Also, I still what I find so important is going out and meeting your readers face to face. Because me as a reader, I read constantly, and I love to meet the people that have actually written the stories that have kept me up late night turning pages, you know. And so still getting out there, I do events. I love going and meeting with the book clubs, because when you get like book clubs behind you and you meet people and they get a feel for you and you know and know where you're coming from, you've just created a lasting relationship, and they're going to write, they're going to follow your writing, they're going to buy your books, they're going to support you to the end, because readers, they once they get an author that they love, they stick with them.
That's right. So now what types of things do you actually post out there on social networks, since you have the book, and the book's not one of the kind of self-help or motivational type book, but it's a true story, and you're not trying to tell the story out there in social network. What types of things do you tweet as a novelist? Not just tweet, but post?
Will post or tweet things just to give them, I'll do snippets from the book, you know, on Facebook, because you have, you know, unlimited space to work with, you know, giving them excerpts, you know, for folks that may not have read any of your work, you know, posting excerpts and they read that, give them a chance to hear a little bit about your work, or, you know, read a little bit about it, you know, so that they will become intrigued and want to read more. And also posting links to my website, because on the website there are full chapter excerpts, and also, especially with Twitter and Facebook, doing contests. Give people an opportunity to interact with you, and not just about the book, but also just about your life. People want to know that you're, you know, you're real. Right, you know?
Exactly. And that's fantastic, because you're right, so many times you never ever see the author of a book, so to be able to kind of get out there and know them through the social networks is a great thing to be able to experience, you know, who you are and kind of the mind of Stacey Covington-Lee. So with that, tell us what we can expect from you in the near future.
Well, my fourth novel, Hate the Way He Loves Me, will be coming out around late spring, early summer. That's the kind of time frame we're looking at for that. And that is, again, my main purpose is to entertain, but if I can shine a light on a real social issue, all the better. And this book will deal with domestic abuse. You know, it's a relation, you have a girl in a relationship, she's known abuse from her father, and managed to escape that, vowing to never have that kind of a relationship again. But when she opens herself up to love for the first time, you know, people tend to fall into what they know.
That's right. Wow, well, we are definitely going to look forward to that book as well. And it's so exciting really to have someone on, have a novelist on for a change, and have the conversation. So for those that are out there that watch our show, we certainly appreciate you all, and hope we brought you a little different flavor today, as opposed to kind of the standard business books. Because in the background, it's all still about the business of your book. You know, the getting the book done, that's really the easy part, we often say.
Exactly.
It's getting it out there, and keeping people connected to you, and keeping people intrigued until you get your next book done. And it sounds like you are doing a great job with getting them out there fairly quickly, and not letting people kind of rest, and letting that book rest, and that next book comes out. So compared to some people that really end up sitting on a book, unfortunately, for years before they ever get it out. So that's great, and we appreciate you doing that. And before we go, we definitely want you to share again your other books, your first two books as well. Knife in My Back 1.
Knife in My Back 1, Knife in My Back 2.
Fantastic.
And again, that friendship and betrayal element, that keep you on the edge of your seat drama. You know, an opportunity to escape the everyday, you know, and just take a trip somewhere deceitful.
It's a great escape, at least, right?
There you go.
Sometimes it's having to know someone going through something a little bit worse than you, maybe, right? So, so everyone definitely get the book, and also tell everyone your contact information again and how they can get the books.
Yes, you can visit my site, www.stacycovingtonlee.com. I would love for you to sign the guest book. There are links for you to purchase the book on my site, and you can also purchase autographed copies from my site. You can also follow me on Instagram at scovingtonlee. Facebook at Stacey Covington-Lee, and Twitter at Stacey Covington-Lee.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Pam.
Stacey. Everyone, thank you all for joining us on Book Your Success. Please make sure you continue to tune in every first and third Tuesday at 1 p.m., our new time. And we are here coming from BizLinks TV studios right at Chamblee, Dunwoody area. We look forward to having you all the next time. Until then, you can check us out online, check the on-demand episodes. Be sure to listen to this show again, hear about the other wonderful authors that were mentioned. For those of you that are interested in becoming an author, becoming a novelist, listen again to the wonderful information that Stacey had to share with us. We also want to thank again our sponsor for today's episode, and that's the Greater Atlanta chapter of Federally Employed Women. They're having their 2014 FEW Southeast Regional Training Program. Come and get the tools for success through empowerment, knowledge, education, opportunity, and advancement. It begins tomorrow, February 19th through the 21st, and please come on out on the 21st. It's open to everyone, not just to federally employed women. Some great information, some great breakout sessions, and yours truly has the honor of doing the closing session. So please be sure to join us. Thanks again to the Great Atlanta chapter of Federally Employed Women. And everyone, we look forward to seeing you again. Join us for our on-demand episodes at bizlinks.tv. Until next time, let's connect.
Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed again in archives on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are an entrepreneur and would like to appear on the program to discuss your book and share how you utilize it to enhance your business platform, submit an inquiry to Book Your Success at bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at www.bizlinks.tv.